Hello and welcome to another edition of Stock Watch. So in this Stock Watch, I want to look at airline companies because since the start of the week, we've seen quite a big shift in the stock price of Boeing and Air France, for example, as the most significant announcement in the fight against COVID-19 became apparent. So, like I said, airline stocks and also companies that rely on airline sales are close behind in making profits as well. So it's been quite a detrimental year for Boeing, and even last month they lost 12 orders on their grounded 737 MAX airliner and delivered 13 aircraft to its customers. However, this was 20 aircraft jets down from this time last year. For the second straight month, the closely watched snapshot revealed attentions turned to the 787 Dreamliner as some sort of cash cow to try and inject profits into the company. But as we all know, with further lockdowns being apparent across the globe, the company is constantly hampered in making these kind of attempts at turning a profit, especially after the two fatal crashes that occurred in recent years. This is when the 737 MAX was grounded officially. However, it has been on the cusp of allowing to carry passengers once again, but Boeing's financial troubles are now much more worse than they were when the grounding announcement came apparent. This was 20 months ago now. What's even worse for the company in trying to turn a profit is the clients and customers that have cancelled their orders are not needed to have a penalty because of this coronavirus environment. So, airline companies would actually be able to get a penalty from customers in a normal environment, but unfortunately this is not available at the moment. So on the other side of the pond, Air France as well, are a similar company that are battling their own struggles. We've seen the second wave of the virus sweep across Europe in the last few months, and the second wave of the pandemic spreading has not helped with the resurgence of the company. It unveiled just over 1 billion euros of quarterly operating loss last month, as all hopes for a resurgence actually died down. So we'll be looking probably into 2021 now. Even if a vaccination does become apparent, there's lots of testing, rigorous, it has to be licensed, rigorous testing and this kind of thing. So it might not actually get approval into next year. And then we have to see how many doses are available in order for any hope to become evident on any companies getting a bit more of their market capital back as it was pre-COVID. So just take a look on Boeing at the moment first of all. So the last time I took a look on Boeing was approximately this time last month, and we saw that it fell into a descending channel, but since then it's kind of broken out of that, and now what I'm looking at is most likely a slight descending channel on the sideways pattern. So I'll get rid of the previous one, and this was obviously having some attempts on the upside and downsides, and then we've had this significant news coming out on Monday morning which has boosted stocks. But how long is this going to last for? Let's just take a look. So let's just zoom in on the areas of interest at the moment. So what I'll be looking at the moment is, if I just put a Fibonacci to see what the retracements are from the approximately the previous highs to the lows. So just zoom in on this areas of interest here. So what I'll be looking at over the next few sessions is if there's a retracement, which there usually is when there's a big move in the market on certain stocks. So now I'll be looking to see if it's going to come back down, possibly around the 171 area, 172. There's a nice confluence zone with the conversion and baseline of the Ichimoku indicator here, which is approximately 167. So all in all, I think if it can break down past this 38.2, it's going to hit this previous confluence level, and then probably start entering the descending channel once again. It'll be very interesting and perhaps quite unlikely if we see more of an upside that we have done in previous sessions. The last time it was at this level was approximately going into the middle of the year, in the middle of June. So these are the levels that I'll be looking at in the next few trading sessions. This is a bit of a false break here, which is a bit of a double top on the previous highs that we saw in the beginning of the week. So, it is possible that we could see a bit more of an upside, but most probably the bias is going to remain on the downside, and to see how much it's going to retrace and how fast it's going to retrace as well. So this is what I'll be looking at in the next few sessions towards the end of the week. and a quick look on Air France as well. So again, we've seen a bit of a descending channel in the last few months. You know, the bias has clearly been on the downside, but now we've had this very positive news coming out of the drug companies to say that they are going to have some kind of vaccination by the end of the year. So obviously positivity. There's not really much going on the momentum indicator for Air France or Boeing. This is due to the fact that we've had such a spike up in the last couple of days. So again, what I'll be looking for at the moment is if I just put a Fibo on the previous highs to the lows to see what the retracement potentials are. And as you can see here, it's very clear. We've hit the 50%, found some resistance there. Now we're trading approximately in between the 23.6 and 38.2. There's a nice confluence level again on the Ichimoku indicator. So again, I'll be looking for prices to start falling down slowly in the next couple of sessions, possibly into next week, and then hitting the cloud and being engulfed, and then we can probably enter this channel once again. If we see prices moving upwards slightly to the mid 4 range, then we could possibly attempt the previous highs at the 50%, but this looks to me like a bit of a false break, so I most probably seeing potential on the downside, but it will be interesting to see in the next few trading sessions what what it can be, and if there's any more positivity coming out of the drug companies that are going to potentially try and find a vaccine for the pandemic. So this is very interesting. Airline companies, keep an eye out for the next few days, and obviously when there are some more news releases, fundamental news releases about any kind of vaccination, antidote, whatever you want to call it, look to airline companies for sure, because these are the ones that are hanging by a thread on certain news to keep their hopes alive, let's say. So yeah, so that's all from the Stock Watch today. Thank you very much for joining me, and if you have any comments, please feel free to add them to the video, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much, and have a great trading day ahead, and bye for now.